Let's take a look at the number of the day, and that number today is 4.1. 4.1%, that's consumer inflation rising 4.1% year on year in February. Increased petrol prices contributed to a slight uptick in inflation for February. Economists say inflation was being kept in check by the slow pace of South Africa's economic recovery. This figure is well within the Reserve Bank's target range of 3 to 6% and is a slight increase on January's 4% growth. CPI is the key measure used by the Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee to set interest rates. Our reporter Diabo Seto has more.
ABSA senior economist Mielani Maluleke says this increase was expected. This is because in February, fuel prices increased by 7 cents a litre for 93 and 95 grades of petrol and 2 cents more for diesel. What is truly encouraging, he says, is food inflation that remained unchanged at 2.3% annually. He says inflation prices remained relatively contained and warns, though, that going forward, inflation will increase.
Going forward, it's pretty clear that there's a number of factors that's probably going to push headline inflation higher. One is the fact that you remember that in early March we had a really big fuel price increase, and when you look at data from the Department of Energy right now, it's clear that the under-recovery data suggests that we're going to get another fuel price increase in April. And of course, we had NERSA come through just a couple of weeks ago saying that Eskom is going to get an electricity tariff increase of about 13.8%. So those factors are probably going to push headline inflation upwards going forward.
Retail trade sales improved on the upside in January. Sales increased by 1.2% year on year, up from a 1.4% contraction in December. Maluleke says the weak sales are reflective of a strung-up consumer.
The consumer is constrained. It's unlikely that you're going to see a very strong demand pickup. So I think retail sales growth should remain probably weak as well.
Ahead of next week's MPC meeting and the interest rate decision on the 28th of March, ABSA expects the Reserve Bank to keep the repo rate on hold at 6.75%. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.